a quick summary. We've covered a lot, but how do we create it to start with? Well, we create a new project. We saw creating a project in the dashboard. And once we create it, we're exposed to all of the templates. And clicking the different templates as tiles that we would like to see, as we create those, it pulls them, puts them in as tabs that are accessible inside of that plan module. As we are creating the content, we are then building it based on the project that we're working on specifically. So we're adding all of the details. We're going through and sharing content, sharing some of the sections, not the whole document, but we're sharing it only the pieces that are ready. And then once we've shared those pieces, other people can come in and comment and go through that workflow. But we can also create the scope, the detailed requirements for who is needing to do what at what point in time. Here, this is an asset information requirement set. What assets, what information, at what point in time, and for what purpose. Being able to define that really quickly in the scope. And maybe, did I move that one forward? There we go. And also being able to define the detailed information requirements as well on each of those assets. Maybe we need warranty date. Maybe we need a lot more detail on that. Actually, that's something that we didn't cover in detail, but the information palette at the bottom to be able to assign all of the information requirements as well. And at a certain point in time, we are going to want to add other tools, other links to other systems that we're using so that everyone has access to everything they need all in the same place. And we will add teams that are bidding on the work. So as we are creating new teams, potentially we might want to make them a prospective team. And a prospective team has certain restrictions so they don't have access to everything that maybe other people would need. So this prospective team comes in, they would see less. They would be restricted. They wouldn't see the other teams. They would maybe have certain tabs of the documents assigned to them, and they would then be maybe answering certain questions. Here, they're adding their resume, their CVs, and sharing that so that teams can have access to the response. Then we can come in and comment and ask for clarification. Maybe the owner, maybe the appointing party is saying, I would like to have more clarification on something, and they go through the commenting process. Teams can manage the documents as tabs, and each tab having a status so that each team having a restriction so that only certain access is provided to certain teams. And then once we've gone through all of that, how do we make it official? Well, we gather the pieces of the contract of the database and filter just for certain teams to be able to create a contract agreement. And then that contract agreement that's created, we can assign it to certain parties and also request certain approvals. In this example, asking for Zach's approval, my approval, and Ted's approval on the document. And then that person who receives the document request for signature would then go in and write their signature, and it's affixed as an electronic signature, legally binding, very secure, much more secure than the other traditional workflows of electronic signature as well, because you actually are part of a project team and you are logged in to be able to understand that you are working on that and working with the other teams. How do we go through all that workflow, contract for it, and then check for compliance? Well, we also have the model deliverable as well that would then be connected to the tasks. And we looked at the scheduling and tracking part so that we can understand when something is going to occur and whether it has occurred or not. But then it's really important that we verify the model deliverable before we then go and use it in the downstream workflow as well. There are some resources that you might like to source. Video-based education on the website and also in the app is available. So if you go to the top right-hand corner of the app, there's a question mark button that will pull up all of the training videos. You can subscribe for updates as more and more videos and content is added in here. There are 1-minute videos that just describe parts of the workflow. And there's also a masterclass. So if you start to use this in practice and you would like to get more in depth on the workflow, there are 4 sessions inside of a masterclass to get started as well.